Organic lettuce is a very valuable and a very profitable crop. Most of the organic lettuce that's grown in the United States is grown in California. Well, weeds have to be controlled in a lettuce field. The lettuce plants are pretty small when they come out of the ground, and the weeds grow pretty close to them, and there can be millions of weeds in a lettuce field, and if they weren't controlled, they would overwhelm the lettuce plants. Well, how to remove weeds from an organic lettuce field? Well, organic growers cannot use herbicides. The non-organic growers use herbicides to remove the weeds, and they do a great job. Another thing the organic growers can't use are short-handled tools, a short-handled hose or different implements that growers could use and have workers holding these short tools. Those tools were banned for weeding back in the 1970s. The state of California determined that the use of short-handled tools caused permanent back pain for workers, and those short-handled tools were an unsafe tool, and the state of California banned them. Well, organic growers could send workers out in fields with long-handled tools, and they could chop the weeds out of the fields that way. But there's a concern with using long-handled tools that because the workers' eyes are so far from the ground, that they might miss some weeds, or they might chop out one of those valuable organic lettuce plants. So what to do? Well, the organic growers found a loophole in the ban in the 1970s that banned the short-handled tool. When the state banned the short-handled tool, the state did not ban just sending workers out into the field without any tools to pull the weeds by hand. And so that's what growers started to do in California, send workers out, and they would bend over very close to the ground to pull those weeds out by hand. Well, the state of California caught on to this practice, and in 2004 the state of California banned the practice of hand weeding in fields because the state rightly determined that the workers had to bend over even further, and they incurred even more back pain, more disability because they were going out into the fields pulling weeds by hand. So the state banned hand weeding in 2004. But the organic growers came in and they pleaded for an exemption from this ban, saying and contending that they would have enormous profit losses if they couldn't send workers out to pull weeds by hand. And the state of California granted the organic growers an exemption from this worker protection law. So if you're eating an some organic lettuce, maybe you should stop and think about those workers out in the field, going to have lifelong back pain because they're pulling weeds by hand, and their labor is not being protected by worker protection standards. Thought you should know.